Welcome to My Debt Killer Video 2. In this video, we will provide an overview of the data entry sheet, which is the sheet currently in front of you. Please follow along in your workbook and pause as necessary. Notice that the workbook already contains a set of practice data for a fictitious couple, George and Helen. As you can see, George and Helen have 20 loans. These are Stafford loans, SoFi refinance loans, credit card loans, personal loans, and so forth. Currently, the maximum number of loans for this workbook is 20. Future versions will have an unlimited number of loans. You can slide the loans from left to right by clicking in any empty cell to the right of column C and using the mouse, touchpad, or touch screen to move the loans from left to right, like this. Pause the video and get used to this feature. Okay, you're back. On my computer, these cells are green. Colors do not always carry over to different computers. All cells of this color allow data input, and I will refer to them as data input cells. Other cells associated with specific row labels are not colored. For example, this cell shows the current interest payment for loan 1. The current interest payment has been calculated based on what George and Helen entered as the current balance and annual rate. This cell shows the total of George and Helen's minimum monthly payments. This cell shows what their total debt is, calculated from the current balances that they have entered. Colored multiple cells labeled Step 1 through Step 5 provide instructions for clearing the data input cells and entering your own data. The multiple cells colored gray on my computer are instructions for running the practice data and looking at the results that are generated. You will do this in a subsequent video. All the non-data input cells are protected. For example, when I click in this non-data input cell and attempt to enter something, I get a warning that it is protected. Let's do that again. Click here, attempt to enter some data, and a warning comes up that the cell is protected. Pause the video and familiarize yourself with the information you will be required to enter for each of your loans. Okay, you're back. If you wish to enter additional information for each loan, click the Add Additional Loan Data button. As you can see, some information has been added for George and Helen's Quick Trip card. If we go to Loan 2, there is no additional information. If we go to Loan 3, Helen has added a note. When you exit this dialog box, it will remind you to save your changes to the workbook. Click here to save any changes that you have made in any of these dialogues. Then click Exit. You will get the reminder if you have clicked the Save Change button. Then click Yes. Here is a button to clear the input data fields. This will remove the practice data or any data that you have entered so that you can enter a new data set. To restore the practice data, click the Restore Practice Data button. When you are dealing with your own data, you may restore your baseline data by clicking the Restore Baseline Data button. In the colored bar to the left are two Help buttons. Here and here. Click these buttons after you have paused the video and become familiar with the messages contained in these buttons and how it relates to the meaning of current minimum payment and whether or not to add true or false for each loan. Okay, you're back. Click here to analyze your data. The Set Current Data as Practice Data button up at the top allows you to do just that, create a new set of practice data. Most users will not need this button. It is there for individuals who want to use this workbook to further explore the problem of finding the best way to pay off multiple loans. If this is of interest to you, after you have run the videos and become familiar with the workbook and entered your own loans and experimented with your own loan situation, go to the author's comments page of the website. Notice that there are tabs for comparison, interest data by approach, payment data, analysis options, calculators, and so forth. We will look at these in the next video. In the next video, we will run the practice data and demonstrate some of the decisions you can make about how to best pay off your loans. You will begin to discover the power of My Loan Killer. Spend time getting familiar with the data interest sheet. See you in the next video for some real fun.